Program for Monday, September 6th, Labor Day 2021. Hope everybody's having a good holiday weekend. Something has happened at the Headwaters Science Center that we're very happy about. We have our rabbit that some of you may have come in, you have an opportunity to pet the rabbit, get acquainted with Orion, our Holland Lop, out there on the exhibit floor. He's getting to be a very mature, you could say elderly rabbit, so it's about time for him to retire. Have to deal with a lot of people, a lot of humans all the time. That gets a little stressful for an old rabbit. So I think that Orion's going to be going to someplace else in a short period of time. Well, hopefully a short period of time, and he'll have a nice retirement somewhere else. But right now, we've been given a couple of rabbits, new rabbits, that we think are going to be great additions to the Headwaters Science Center exhibit floor. And right back here, I hope you can see Summer back here, this beautiful rabbit back here in the corner, and she's a young one, and her brother Theo is hiding. Now the reason we've got them back here, we don't put them out on the exhibit floor, is that every time we get an animal into the Headwaters Science Center, whether it's a snake or a lizard or a turtle or a mammal like a rabbit or a guinea pig, we keep them off the exhibit floor for a while. Typically what happens is they come in, and we put them in a nice safe environment. They get used to the sounds that they're hearing, but they don't have to deal with all the people yet. They get used to just the general environment, and we observe them carefully. They can get to observe us, and the whole idea is to get them comfortable, allow them to be comfortable with us. And once they get to that point, when they're comfortable with the staff and the volunteers, and we limit contact with them in the beginning, and gradually have more and more contact with them, until we are confident that they feel comfortable. And then we bring them out onto the exhibit floor and allow them to get used to what's happening out there, all the sights, the sounds, the motion, the changes of people coming through during the day. And we don't let people handle them or pet them or touch them for quite a while, until we're confident that they feel comfortable, and then we bring them out a little bit and have a few customers or a few visitors be able to pet them, have some contact with them. The whole idea is to make sure that the animals, the biggest concern that we have is for the animal's safety, welfare, and making sure that they feel all right with the whole process. If they're too nervous, if they're, especially if they get defensive, maybe they scratch or bite or something like that. Of course, we don't want that. But as much as that, if we feel that they're feeling scared or intimidated somehow, then we will simply not have them out as an exhibit animal on our exhibit floor. We won't have them in contact with visitors. We'll probably have them go to someone else's home and have a nice life there. But we're very careful with having animals on our exhibit floor. We don't bring them out until we're sure that they're good Science Center animals, are comfortable around people, don't mind being handled, don't mind being petted. And so if you come here and you're handling an animal, a lot of people ask, is this animal safe? Is this animal friendly? Or something like that. Yeah, not all animals can be considered friendly. I'm not sure that snakes are friendly, but snakes may be comfortable with human contact, and snakes may be used to and feel safe with certain people. And even more so with rabbits. They're a little bit higher on the intelligence scale. They have a little bit more of a sensitive nature. And anyway, I'd like to say a few things about rabbits while we're here. There she goes. And you can see that Summer is eating hay there. We have some nice green hay. Summer, right? That's her name? Yeah.
And I would consider eating right now a very good sign. She's actually gotten very comfortable with you sitting there very quickly.
Yeah. And well, that's one thing also, when animals are feeding, that makes them vulnerable. They're paying attention to the food, not paying attention to the environment around them, and that might make them feel a little bit unsafe, because they have to devote their attention to something else. So that's a good sign. When she's feeding now and she's eating, when there's two humans near her and speaking, and she hears some sounds from out on the exhibit floor, then, well, she's doing pretty well. She's adapting well to this situation. Now she's eating hay. It's very important. That's a big part of their diet. There's some interesting things about rabbits, and one of the interesting things is their digestive system. And rabbits have kind of a double-stage digestive system. Now humans have, we chew our food, take it in through the mouth, chew it, swallow it, goes down through the esophagus, goes into the stomach, goes from the stomach, gets partially digested in the stomach, and then what goes out of the stomach goes into the intestine, the small intestine, and there it's continued to digest, and nutrients are absorbed through the wall of the intestine. Now, hi Summer.
Just said hi to you.
And rabbits have an extra stage in their digestive system. A number of animals have that kind of thing. Their food is mainly, well, it's all plant matter. Rabbits, hares, other members of their particular order, Lagomorpha, can digest only plant matter. And they have what's called sort of a static digestive system. It doesn't necessarily move things through forcefully. They have to have lots and lots and lots of fiber to move it through. That fiber is something called cellulose, and pretty much mammals, kind of ironic that mammals don't have digestive enzymes that can adequately digest cellulose, completely digest cellulose. One adaptation to cope with that is a different kind of stage digestive system. And this is a diagram I got. Is that coming through on the camera?
Yeah,
you see that?
Closer.
You can see, just like with humans, you've got coming from the mouth, the esophagus brings it down to the stomach, and then you can see where it goes into the winding small intestine. But there's an extra little structure here. This one right here. Is that coming through on the camera?
Yeah.
That one right there, which is called the cecum. And that is a closed-ended pouch. And food can go through there. Here's more of a schematic here. Oops, let's get it right. More of a schematic. Stomach, intestine, and then there's the cecum. And food goes into the cecum, especially food that's kind of difficult to digest. And there it's mixed with microorganisms and yeasts, it's a microorganism too, and enzymes and so forth, and it's fermented in there. It means it's broken down into simpler substances that can be, nutrients that can be absorbed. And then that is passed out into the large intestine and excreted. They poop it out. That is now, rabbits are in a category of animals called Coprophages, which means they eat their poop. And that kind of soft material that comes out from the cecum has nutrients in it that can be absorbed. So rabbits will. It sounds kind of gross, but actually it doesn't turn out that way so much. Rabbits do it very discreetly, but they do eat part of their poop. That kind of the poop that comes out, they eat that. It becomes redigested, and the final feces, the final poop that comes out, is ejected as hard pellets. The things that you're probably familiar with as rabbit pellets, little round spherical pellets of rabbit poop. So that's an interesting thing about rabbits. They actually have to digest their food twice to get full value out of it. Another thing that's interesting about rabbits is a lot of people that we've had into the Science Center kind of assume that rabbits are rodents. Now, about a third of all mammal species are rodents. There's a whole lot of rodents out there in the world.
If you ever taken a mammalogy course, that was probably the most stressful unit.
Yeah.
Rodents.
I don't know if you heard what Carl just said. If you've ever taken a mammalogy course, it's probably the most stressful unit. It's studying rodents. There's a whole lot of rodents out there. I think this is officially the largest rodent. It's the largest rodent in North America.
Yeah, the largest one is the capybara in South America, which is, I'd love to get into here. Capybaras are rodents that may be 5 feet long and weigh over 100 pounds. But beavers get pretty big too. If you've ever seen some of the beavers around here, they get pretty large. And this is rodent teeth. The reason I'm bringing this up is that lagomorphs like rabbits and hares and pikas are related to rodents, probably more closely related to rodents than anything else. But one of the features about lagomorphs is their teeth are different from rodent teeth. These are rodent teeth, and you can see they're big teeth, big incisors, and there's nothing between the incisors and the molars. The food is bitten off here, moved to the back, and ground up by these molars back here. Now, of course, beavers are made for chewing up tree bark, so they've got really tough grinding teeth back here, and they have to have tough teeth up front to be able to, you know, get bark off trees and so forth. And actually, you do know that they cut down trees with their teeth. Amazing animals. Anyway, these chisel-like teeth here, you have two incisors on the top, two incisors on the bottom, and they work against each other. The interesting thing about these is, you know, our teeth have enamel all the way around. All sides of our teeth are covered with enamel. For rodents and lagomorphs, there's enamel on the outside. On the inside, their surface is covered by dentin, which is a softer material. The idea for this is that these teeth work against each other, and the dentin is worn away, and the enamel stays firm on one side, so you actually get a chisel edge. It keeps these teeth sharpen each other and wear each other down. Now, the difference between rodent teeth and rabbit teeth is that rabbits have two extra incisors on the top. They're little peg-like teeth that go in back here. I don't know if I've got a good picture of them. Oh, well, here. Might as well bring this up. If rabbits and other animals that have teeth like that don't have enough rough vegetation, like hay, it's very tough vegetation, or tree bark or something like that, to wear down their teeth grow uncontrollably. And this is an extreme example. Can you see that? Where the top teeth actually have grown so far that they curl around. The bottom teeth have come out that they extend way beyond the jaw. That's a horrible example of what happened to this rabbit, but that's what can happen. And the difference between, as I said, rabbit teeth and rodent teeth is there's two extra little peg-like incisors on the top that are behind the front ones. Some of the other interesting things about rabbits, of course, is that, well, most animals that, well, especially running animals, have pads on their toes. You've seen pads of a dog or a cat or something like that. They have pads. Rabbits don't have that. They have fur over the bottoms of their feet. They're made for.
So why is that exactly?
You know, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how that has become a successful adaptation. But they're made for running. Now, it looks like Summer has been eating very comfortably and might not be the fastest runner in the world. But one of the things that they have in common, all those animals have in common, like rabbits and hares, is that they have very long hind legs. And their locomotion is springing off their hind legs, and their front legs are made for cushioning their fall. You can see that, especially, say, we have Orion out of the cage and he's moving around the exhibit floor a little bit. It's the hopping motion that everybody's pretty much familiar with. But it makes for a very efficient, very fast locomotion when things happen.
Oh yeah, that's Theo. He's thumping.
Oh, that's one thing also about rabbits. Those little noises, apparently. Theo is in the little hide back here. I don't know if you can see it well on camera. There's a little hide here. It's very important for them to have some place to hide and be away from noise and motion and feel safe. And he may be getting annoyed with me being out here and making noises right next to his home. But they communicate by thumping. Pretty much everybody who's ever seen the Walt Disney cartoon movie Bambi knows the character Thumper, and they have a rabbit in there, a very cute little rabbit thumping. And sending signals with his feet, but they actually do that. That's something that they do. So rabbits are different a little bit from all other kinds of animals, and they're really pretty interesting. So
because again, this is summer, and hopefully her brother Theo will be coming out in a little while and getting used to us. We're going to go along very cautiously, very carefully, and very gently to make sure that he feels safe and he gets used to us, and we can communicate and be in contact a little bit more. Well, that's a good introduction to rabbits, to summer, and, well, you can't meet Theo yet, but you will later. We're confident. So thanks very much, and this is something to look forward to when you come into the Science Center in the future. You'll be able to maybe get acquainted a little bit more closely with